It's 9:09 p.m. on my son's birthday, on Preston's birthday, on your birthday, on your 12th birthday. To me, it's kind of a big one. It's puberty, it's around puberty age, so like everything changes. My only son, and I miss you, Preston, so much. I've been sitting here introspecting. This is the first I know I've spent any of my baby's birthdays not being able to talk to them because they were conditioned into influenced into believing that I didn't give a shit about them and that everything I was targeted and everything I was isolated on purpose by outside forces, not myself. I mean, that even targeted me with energetic attacks to put me in a state of depression to believe the same things that were being influenced to my children. And I did. And that's why they got away with it for so long. But finally, my spiritual phoenix mode kicked in, and I said, fuck that. And that's when I started to awaken, and I could see what was going on. And the only energy that could stop that energy was me. And there's still remnants of that energy, though. It's going away. Like as we all awaken more and more, like people are the my own children that have thought that I was just this terrible person are starting to question and go, wait, that doesn't make sense. Why? She is trying. She is doing her best. She's always been like that. Why do I think like that? I'm starting to see, well, with Morgan, my oldest thing. And I'm just happy about it. I'm not defensive. That's an ego thing, is to get defensive and to get upset about it. It's still, I mean, my ego's a part of me, and so my pain is still real, just like anything else. That's why I'm crying, is because I had to take a look at it, and I know it meant, I know now why it all happened in the ways that it did, was for me to accept my power and to own my power, and to the lengths that have been, the energetic lengths that have been gone to make me not own my power is the entire reason that I do own my power. And I took my choice back, and I took my energy back, and I took my power back, and put a kibosh on all this. And it'll, like I said, I'll be here when my kids are ready to talk about what happened. And the truth is going to come out, because the truth always prevails. That's what I did. I did ask God. It's funny, I heard one of the tarot readers that I watched, they said that chosen ones don't ask to be chosen. But the funny thing is, I did. Like, and I'm not saying in a spiritual soul sense either. In the middle of my trials and tribulations, in the middle of my somebody trying to destiny swap me and trying to unalive me with energy, and I was in such a bad state of depression, and so many things were going on around me, and things were going wrong, and I could see the wrong in the world and the pain in the world and what was causing it, that I said, God, since I'm here, let's do this. I said, I want it all. Give it to me. I'm here. If I'm here, then I don't want to, I don't want to be in a different soul state sometime and regret not doing it now. If I'm here already and I know what's going on, then let's take it down. And I said that about 3 years ago out loud, besides calling judgment on situations that were wrong. And I called down God's judgment, God's justice, because I was like, this is bullshit. I'm not doing anything wrong. I'm not intending anything wrong on anyone. How can nothing wrong can happen to me if I'm not doing anything, if I'm not intending wrong on anyone else? That's just logic. It's energetic logic. But our energies have been tangled, and contracts have been woven over lifetimes and ancestral lineages, that's why we come in here to these manifestations to break them. That's why I said, I know now, but it doesn't make it any less, you know, real that it happened, that it's happening, that it did happen. The pain is real, that those things, and that's what makes it, that's what I said, that's what makes you grateful. Like, I'm not depressed, I'm not crying out of depression right now, but I am acknowledging what happened to me and that it wasn't my fault and that I didn't intend anything on anyone and I didn't deserve it. And I'm glad that I had the spiritual team to pull me out of it, and the ancestry and the lineage. I don't even know it because my mind has been, I've been targeted for a long time energetically because of how powerful I am. I don't even know all of it. That's what I mean. There's so many layers and so many ways that this can go, and that's why you got to give it to God. Vengeance isn't mine and I don't want it. There's too much at fucking play for me to want to be involved and and to be angry and to be upset for like a period of time over something. I'm sick of being angry. I'm sick of being sad. I'm sick of that stuff. Like, I've done it enough. I think I've done enough on that. I don't want to do it anymore. The only thing it does for me to do it is keep me from being who I need to be and want to be to for my children, for the world, for myself, for everything. So that's got to go. That's one of those lies, false, doesn't help. Got to go. Gets to go. Gets to go. But you have to, the thing about balance and to keep balance of shadow and light once healed, you have to be accountable at all times. And then you're on a truth frequency, which is a light frequency, which is God. It's a God frequency. You don't have to worry that you don't have to question or doubt or worry or think that something, it's the opposite than anything positive, because truth frequency is positive frequency. And so you can rest in that. You can rest assured in that. As long as you're being accountable to yourself. You have to be accountable to yourself at all times, which is truth. You have to be honest with yourself at all times to stay in balance once you balance yourself, and to balance yourself, and just in general. It's true. That's what I had to do. And I wouldn't take it back for the world. That's what, this is a fucked up experience and I'd do it again. I don't want to do it again, but still I would. I'm like, God, I'd do it again, but this is fucked up. Like, it really was, this was everything, the truth about everything that has happened to me and over the years and everything is unbelievable. It is. It's unbelievable. Everybody's about to find out. You know what I mean? Because it's got to happen. These things are true, and truth. We all deserve truth. And that's what awakening. There's so many ways that a soul can awaken to its originality, and its originality is infinite. And so there's an infinite amount of ways that you can wake up, and like the energies that are being sent to help wake us up, and for us to ascend are you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't, we integrate those energies, and so they come into fruition, manifest in our way through us. And so, like, how that happens is on us. Like, so it doesn't, there is no black and white, there is no concrete thinking. That shit's really got to go. That's all bullshit. Any kind of this way or that way. No, there's everything in between. And then there's vertical, horizontal, fucking, you got shit going on. Like, to think linear is just not a good idea. It's not practical. It's not rational. It's not a rational idea. It isn't. It isn't. It's just not. We're not that type of creature. We are complex creatures, beings, energies. Like, complex, like, that's what I mean. We all get to be unique in our own way. I've said this a million times, and be awesome and unique in our own way, in a myriad of ways. And that's what the things that keep us sad or depressed or are just ways that keep us from growing in those ways that we can, in those complex ways, unique and complex ways that we can, expansion and growth in those ways, in positive ways. So I mean, like, yeah. Anyway, here I'm going on a rant again. It's like Dennis Miller. I wanted to come on here because I am going to speak my truth for all of us, and for God, and for everything. The truth is coming to me. It's promised. It's my birthright. It's all of our birthrights to have truth, because it's God, and we are divine. And so, just like abundance is our birthright too, it is. We have put the energetic blockages over ancestral and lifetimes that have stopped us from getting into the flow of abundance. We don't access flows because we have all these energetic blocks from pain and fragmentation of our soul that we chose, though. You know, like, yeah, it's just 10:10 on the timer. Yeah, breaking them cycles. Fucking A. That's what I was sitting here earlier and I was saying. I dissolve all the barriers to love that I have accumulated. I dissolve all the barriers to love that I have accumulated in whatever ways that needs to be. And I decree that to myself. That's what I do all the time is I decree things to myself because it's within me. And I know it is. Since I know my divine birthright and divine originality, I know that everything is within me and all I got to do is call on it. And especially, we have to do it repetitively. We're conditioned into one. That's why there's no linear thinking. There's no black and white because we are conditioned. We are active in change in motion. That's why it's good to embrace change and uncertainty because we literally are living in change all the time. Our moment, we are always changing. And so it's just a good idea to accept changes as inevitable. I know it's a saying, but it's really true though, and so that's why there's a myriad of ways that things can be done. I don't know where I was going with that. Oh yeah, no, I am gonna speak my truth though. It's gonna happen. I want to. I asked God. I asked God to give me this. I did. All the trials and tribulations. I did. I did before I came into this life. Before I was born, before I got wiped, my memory got wiped, and I came in here to learn and get conditioned and try and uncondition and all that good stuff. But there's things that I do that aren't normal that only point to one thing, and that's God. And that's in the growth of what I'm spewing out, my truth here, which is truth. It's based on all truth, which is the basis of truth, which is the basis of reality for all of us. I mean, it just is, because it's better to share, don't lies only create problems. They only create problems. I don't know how anybody can't see that. Like I can see it from my own problems that I created by lying when I lied. And that's why I had to stop doing it for myself, though, just for protection for myself, for me, so I don't fuck up and do shit that I shouldn't be doing. Save myself a lot of trouble. But it wasn't for nothing, okay, Preston? This is mainly for Preston because I was crying from all the things that I've lost. But I'm grateful for the person that I am today. They wouldn't have made me who I am today. And so for that, I honor them. It sucks that they did happen. I didn't even get to talk to my son today on his 12th birthday. I have no way. I haven't had a phone since February. My mom, she has a phone, but she doesn't have it. We don't have internet or nothing. We're like on the bottom scale of, the bottom of the barrel of poverty. What's going on here? For real. I mean, which it is what it is, All you can do is try. All you can just try more, try harder. Actually, they're telling me that I need to learn how to be receptive and be. That's like the thing. Like I've done a lot of work. I've done a lot of hard work every day. I'm just actually that's my mode is that all I know is to work. And I've been working for God and the divine for a minute, trying to anchor in these energies and anchor in these frequencies for the new earth. I'm a grid worker too, I'm a light worker. And so, like, when the call went out, I answered, hello. It's like the Batman phone. It's the red phone with no other buttons. And so he can only call me in. I'm like, hello. Yep. Okay. Got it. Divine insurgent mode. Boom. And that's why I have faith in God. I just, there's been a lot of energetic problems that have gotten away, but I still don't need to fear those either. Because, I mean, that's only creates them. The same thing that is them is what creates them, or vice versa, whatever. It's true. So I mean, that's been the challenge is unlearning the things that we learned how to do, unconditioning the things that we've been conditioned into. But I have the mentality, man. I have the mental fortitude and experience and strength and resilience and courage to be able to do it, to be able to change my subconscious and change and evolve us. I was born with it in here, man. For real, I'm different. What's happened? It's not a bad thing though. It's what I had to learn to accept. That's one thing that I got ostracized for and I got put down for and got, and got targeted for. It was because the one thing that I needed to accept was who I am and remove all the layers to that to become what I need to be. Same thing that I was always targeted for throughout my entire life. And that's why I'm not mad. That's where the depression would come in, is that I would blame something outside of myself. I do put responsibility where responsibility lies, but I'm not going to take a victim stance at all. I will not, because that's giving my own power away. Instead, I just want to acknowledge it and look at it for the way that what it is, for what it is, and honor it by feeling the emotions that went with it. I have to acknowledge them and be real with myself to be able to even heal, to unify and balance and move on and be better and do better than what I've known, you know. And since I have that mental fortitude, I believe in myself to do it. And we're tricky. We're tricky. My mind is tricky. We're all tricky. Like, I mean, to ourselves. And that, there's a spiritual ego too, besides regular ego, and then I just integrated ego. I still got ego, it could go out of whack if I got out of balance, but my spiritual team, thank God, like I got anointed and shit. And so like, they're here all the time and they go, hey, don't do that. And I'm like, okay. Like, you know, I'm not all the way, my clairs aren't all the way online, but I have a lot, or I have a few that are, and they're all growing within all of us right now. All of us are growing and we don't even know it. I see it. I can see it. I can see how even the energy readers and the tarot readers that I watch and the spiritual people that I watch, how their skills and their gifts are growing, just like mine are, and if you're open to it and you're open to those energies, you're going to expand. That's what this time is about. That's why it is really exciting to come to the realization and the actualization of what we are, what we can do, how we can do it, why we can do it. And that's why the truth's going to come out, is because we deserve the truth of our real history, of the things that we were conditioned not to believe in. The same reason that I was targeted in the ways that I was is what we're going to get the truth about, because it has been happening to us for too long. Like we can be angry about it, but we can't stay in that anger. We're letting them win. We're letting them win still. They conditioned us into being in a state of suffering and lack and all that stuff. And they conditioned us, which means they just influenced us. We have the power ourselves. We manifested this existence, but they were, hey, don't do this, or do this, do that, believe this, believe that. And we made it happen, but we can unmake it happen, and that's what we got to do, you know? And that's why, I mean, like, it's not black or white. We really got to throw that out the window. Things are not linear. It's a lot more complex and intricate than we realize, just like so many things in life are, though. That's why it's not that hard to actually go, it's that type of thinking, those perspectives that were conditioned into us that we have to throw out, is the linear thinking and the black and white and the silly, that's crazy, that's silly, all the stuff that we were made to look. So we look this way, only this way, instead of all around. It's coming though. It's happening. It's already happening. It already happened. Like the light already won. Thank you, my ancestors. um, the light already won. Now it's just transitioning and going through the remnants of it, you know. And we got to do this for our own children and for the world and for Mother Gaia and for the universe and for the animals and for the tree, like for all the things, the people we care about, our friends, our past, what has made us who we are today. We have to honor that, not distract and not avoid and not turn away and dismiss. That was the trick. That was the conditioning, was to make us not pay attention and to pay attention on something that doesn't fucking matter. That's just going to keep our vibration low and not doing shit. If we come together and we get aware and conscious, we're going to boof. It's going to affect the entire universe. It already is, actually. It already is. I don't know everything and I will not pretend to know everything. And I'm actually glad I don't know everything. That's what's actually fun about life is that I don't know everything. I enjoy not knowing everything, honest to God. Honest to God. I really do. I really do. Because I love to learn. Oh my God. It's fucking cool to learn. I don't care what it is. That's why I never really had an ego. I had a lack of ego my entire life because it got in the way. The ego would get in the way. I wouldn't learn things. I wouldn't do things that I wanted to do. You know, it's a tool to be able to sharpen us to see our different sides of us and the different ways that we can be. That's why to think that we're good or bad is false. It is because there's too many in betweens of good and bad. Like we might not make the best decision, but we might make an okay one. you know, and then we might make a pretty shitty one, but the next day we might make fucking great ones all day. You know what I mean? It's just, that's why it takes time to transition into a new age too, is because, I mean, like time, like moments, lots of moments, repetitive moments, because we are in an active state. We are in a changing state but we're conscious beings, that can, that are multidimensional beings, interdimensional beings. So we have the ability to yeah, this is so intricate and crazy. It's really cool. It's really cool how we all are, how our power is, how energy works. Yeah, they didn't want us to know our own power and our own energy, and they're already gone. I mean, they're not gone. The remnants of them are still there. There's like, of the dark forces that were here, but we have the power to say that's what our origin of our vibration supersedes any lower vibrations. We can go to the Shadowlands though and hang out just fine. We can go to the Shadowlands and hang out just fine because we're made of shadow and light. But we have to know that we are and go, no, 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 I'm not going to do that because that's just going to keep me in a low vibration. That's not going to keep me from being able to grow and expand. So I'm not going to do that. And like I said, there's in betweens, and that's what makes us beautiful. That's what makes us imperfectly perfect, is that we have variance within us. Variance within us. That's fucking cool. Like active variance within us is what we have. We're active variant beings, energetic beings. That's awesome. I have so much to learn. Anyway, I love you, Preston. I love you. I love my children. I love the world. I love everything. I choose to love. And I choose love over anything else. Because that's what's important. And like I said, self-love is honoring myself. And so that's when I had to come on here. And I know my son is upset that he can't talk to his mom either. We were actually really close. We were. Our bond. And it's a thin line between anger and sadness, on the situation of not wanting to be pissed off that it happened. I do have divine anger within me that it's there. You know what I mean? I can't deny it. I can't deny any part of myself because that's just a bad idea. Takes precedence over the rest of it. That it's a bad idea to not honor myself. And it does make me angry that the things happen that they did, but I have to let it go because they happened for a reason, and I wouldn't be the person that I am today if they didn't. So for that, I am grateful. But, I'm working on letting go. It's still, these are all these, because it's still a lot of pain. It's a crazy, crazy story that you are all going to find out about. Crazy. But it's not too crazy because it happened. Because it's real. Because it's truth. Because it's true. It's not a perception either. This is what happened. It's going to be an awesome story. It's a living testimony, actually. That's why I'm honored to have it as well. And that I fought for it. That's what I mean. No one can take my connection to God because I fought for my connection to God. This is mine. What I got within me that I'm embodying now for Him, for the world, for the universe, for my children, for all of us, for me. No one can take that from me. And God said so. And I say so because God said so. Like, for real. For real. Like, my experience, no one That's mine. Even the it targeting whatever, I went through it and I came out of it, so I get to keep it. Anyway, love you guys. You're gonna find out some cool shit. Not cool shit, actually. It's gonna be pretty rough. And I'm gonna share it all with you, honest and true to me. That's what God made me, is authentic. Like, I'm so genuine, it's ridiculous. And when I cry, others, not in a bad way, like, my energy is very understandable. In a weird way to put it, but yeah, it is. People feel my energy and they can feel what I'm feeling. I don't try and like control anybody's feelings with my energy. I just am able to relay. And so when people see my testimony and see what happened to me, see my story, hear my story, read my story, they're going to feel it in the same degree that I did. And its realness and genuineness and truthness and all of the truth that it is. And it's authenticity that it is. And that is one of the spiritual gifts that God gave me. It's being able to share my energy in that way. And I'm able to, I'm an empath and can pick up on other people's energies in the same way. When someone tells me a story, I go to the depths that they felt and I've always done that. Always. I can go to the same level that they went through when they went through it, when they tell me the story. I can relate on that deep of a level. I've always been that way. I came into this life knowing, or, with the intention of being that way. Anyway, yeah. I love you, Preston. Happy birthday.